Hey guys, it's Tessa. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about fake Doc Martens. So recently my favourite pair of Doc Martens decided to break. This is a pair of official Doc Marten boots. These are the Pascal range. I only worn these a handful of times, probably about 4 or 5 times, and they broke. I was actually quite disappointed that these broke because they do cost quite a bit of money. So you can imagine only wearing them probably like a handful of times for them to rip straight down the back of the boot. It was a little bit upsetting for me. I don't know if you guys saw on my Instagram story that I basically put them on my foot and the back of the boot just ripped all the way down the leather, and it wasn't even in the stitching of the seam, it was in the material itself, so it just must have been weak and it ripped. So because I was so disappointed in the shoe breaking and not having them for very long, I ended up emailing customer service for Doc Marten. So I got a reply from Doc Marten's customer service and they told me to send them some pictures of the shoe from different angles and also the sole of the shoe so they could see if I did actually wear them a lot and what was the main cause of the problem. So I sent them these photos. They replied back to me and they said they were prepared to do a exchange, so they weren't going to refund me. They couldn't refund me even though I had the receipt and everything and all the proof. So what they decided to do, they would send me a certificate, so I would send the boots off back to the head office or the factory, and with that certificate that would then allow me to either get them exchanged. But before any of that could happen, they first wanted to determine whether the fault in the shoe was down to wear and tear or actually down to factory fault. And because this style of Doc Marten boot is actually no longer available, they don't make them anymore, so it would have been impossible for them to replace them with exactly the same style. So they did say in the email that if this style that you have is no longer available, that they would switch it out for something similar. But I didn't want anything else because I bought these boots thinking they were going to last me for a very long time. Not even 5 times wearing them, they ended up ripping. So that whole process of sending them back to Doc Martens for them to make a decision whether or not they were broken down to wear and tear or the factory fault, they said in the email it could take up to 5 to 6 weeks for them to determine whether or not it was me or the factory, and also I wouldn't be able to get the same pair of shoes again. So that bummed me out. So what I did is I ended up repairing the shoe myself with a very thick nylon thread and a very thick chunky needle, and sewn all the way up the seam of the boot, so I had to kind of fold over the fabric and sew it back to get it wearable. So yeah, so that's the story behind these Pascal boots. I can't get a refund. They can exchange them but only for a different style. And they weren't cheap, guys. They were meant to last me so long and they didn't. So my first initial feeling was maybe I should buy some more Doc Martens to make up for those. But if you know the prices of Doc Marten shoes, they are like between 60, 70, even 100, 150, and it's just expensive brand of shoe. So what I did is I ended up looking on AliExpress and I ordered a pair of fake Doc Marten shoes, and today they came in the mail. So this is what I got, and this is what it came wrapped up in, a black bag. And this is my first impression of the shoe. I haven't seen the shoes before in person apart from on the computer, so this is my first impression, and I have to say I'm actually really impressed with the quality. It did say on the advert that these were made from genuine leather, and I can kind of smell that they do smell of leather, so that's another indicator that I wanted them to last a long time. So they haven't laced the shoe completely, and I did order these shoes in a US size 10. If you guys have ever ordered anything from China and the factories, you always have to buy a size larger than what you actually are because of Asian sizing. So I really didn't know what size to go for. I thought I would have got like a 9.5, and that would have been like a 6.5 UK size, but I ended up getting a size 10. And looking at the reviews, a lady who was Russian said that, so that kind of equaled up to an EU size 40 to 41, so that was what I was looking for. So, and comparing to the size 7 in the official Doc Martens, they are exactly the same size. I do think that these are actually meant to be unisex instead of like specifically for a man or a woman, so they have given a little bit of leeway. So, what we've been waiting for, okay, these retailed at £23. £23, these retailed at 100. So let's look at the difference. Okay, so the original Doc Martens shoe on the sole is a little bit more orange, and the one from AliExpress is a little bit darker actually. But the pattern on the bottom of the shoe is pretty much the same, but you can tell the material is different. So let's try the flexibility. The flexibility of the original shoe and the flexibility of the fake shoe. It's about the same, to be honest. It feels pretty sturdy, feels quite hard. The toes feel nice and sturdy as well. They don't feel like flimsy or anything. What I was looking at on the reviews of this shoe was sometimes the stitching would be a little bit dodgy on the shoe, but I'm looking at this. To be honest, it kind of looks the same. It really does look the same. So here's the original and here's the fake ones. I mean, there is a little bit of overlapping of the stitching on the inside of the shoe. There isn't any overlapping of the stitching at all. Look at the other one. No. So that's the only difference, I think. With the fake Doc Martens, the stitching slightly different, but I mean from a distance it looks exactly the same. They both look like Doc Martens. So I'm just amazed. I haven't tried them on yet, so let's try them on for the first time. There isn't anything in the shoe there. No, okay. Also guys, the delivery time for this, it said it was going to take just over 2 weeks. It got here under 2 weeks. It got here in about 12 days. So I was really happy with that one. Hopefully, I hope it fits. Oh wow, it's a perfect fit. Okay, so here we can compare the shoe. It does feel quite hard, and the one thing I am noticing now I've put them on is that it's quite wide on the top of the shoe. You can see the difference. Yeah, look, it is quite wide. The sizing is a lot better. I think it'll probably take a couple of times for me to wear them in. Also, these laces, they aren't the same sort of laces as the ones on the original. These laces are a lot thinner. They are longer, but they're thinner. They look fine. Now, while I was doing the laces up, I did notice there is a little bit of a gap in the sealant on the side of the shoe. Like, to be honest, now that I've noticed that little like indent in the seal, it's kind of annoying. But apart from that, I mean, they're a good pair of boots, so they're fine. Okay guys, so I ended up fixing the little bit on the front of the shoe where the seam wasn't stuck down properly. So you can kind of see where I've glued it. The glue is still drying now. So what I did, I just used this all-purpose clear glue, and it says that you can use it for leather. What I did was I put a little bit of glue on the end of a cocktail stick and just kind of stuck it in the bit where there was a bit of sealant missing. I held it in place for about 10 minutes until the glue was tacky, and now the shoe is fine. Oh, I can't believe I managed to get a pair of boots for 20 quid that look exactly the same as Doc Martens. And because they're real leather as well, I can polish them with shoe polish, so they just keep their shine, and whenever they're looking a little bit dull, just give them a polish. I will be keeping an eye on the seal, on the sealant on the side of the shoes and stuff, because all of the rest of the shoe is completely fine, and this one there is no problems at all. It was only just this tiny little bit at the front, but now I've put the glue on it, you can't even tell. I mean, yeah, you can probably see a little bit of the glue now, but the glue is still drying, so when it is 100% dry it will be clear. So yeah, I might end up putting some rainbow laces in these as well, just funk them up a little bit. If I knew that you could get a pair of fake Doc Martens for 20 quid, I would have just bought these first off. I'll be even more intrigued to find out that these boots would actually last longer than the originals, so that will be something to look out for. Also guys, if you are interested in getting something from AliExpress, if you sign up to make an account, they also give you vouchers so you can get discount on your orders, so it's something to look into, because I actually managed to get a $5 voucher for a discount when I ordered these, so I did get some money off. So overall, I'm actually really happy with these fake Doc Martens shoes. I mean, the saying goes, you get what you pay for, but I did not get what I paid for the official Doc Martens shoe. I would not pay over £100 just to wear them for a couple times for them to break. It's just no. I actually had a few messages from you guys saying that the quality of Doc Martens isn't the same as it used to be, and they're finding a cheaper alternatives for their materials that they use in the shoe. So it's kind of a bit of a shame, because I always looked up to Doc Martens to be a nice, hard wearing, long lasting boot, but it's not the case anymore. I mean, you'll be better off just getting a cheaper alternative, and they look exactly the same and for a lot cheaper price as well. So if you're one of those types of people that stomp out in their shoes, they wear them 24/7 and you wouldn't be seen without a pair of chunky boots, then I'll definitely recommend them. If you want to save yourself some money and buy more pairs of shoes for the amount that you could get for a pair of Doc Martens, probably the quality is about exactly the same, to be honest. And I'm actually really happy about the quality of the soles, because there was a few pictures, the different brands would make fake Doc Martens and the soles would be quite see-through, but I'm actually quite happy that they are a bit darker than the originals, because it just gives it more like a, you know, like the army boot sort of feel to it. Also guys, if you're paying attention to detail, you will see on the original shoe the little tab on the back is different to the tab that it comes with on this one, but I don't mind that, it's still there. Still looks like it from a distance. But no, I'm really happy with it, and the quality of the material is really nice as well. And they also give you a choice, so you could choose to have it without a lining on the inside of the shoe, or you could choose to have fake fur. It does have a lot of options. You can also get this in different colours. You can get them in red, brown, what else, white, and you can get them in like the polished effect. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I did want to just compare between the fake Doc Martens and the real Doc Martens to show you that you can get a lot for a cheaper price, and you can probably get a lot more out of it as well. So there we go guys, that was me comparing the Doc Martens shoe with the fake Doc Martens. I hope you found this video helpful and entertaining. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and go subscribe for more, and I will see you lovelies very soon. Bye guys.